and 34. Are there students here? Okay, maybe can you remind them to join us on time? Okay, so today we are going into a new unit that will be Unit 3.
Bro, everything is so shitty.
So you will find that the major topic for Unit 3 that will relate to landslide. So basically, in this unit, we are going to discuss two different parts. The first part that will be related to landslide, of course. We would like to look at the causes, negative impact, and how to respond before or after the occurrence of landslide. And then, but before we go into details for landslide, then we would like to look at the relief of Hong Kong. And here we would like to discuss some of the map reading skills. So this will be the content we are going to discuss today. So just ask you a quick question. So if I ask you relate to the relief of Hong Kong, what you are going to tell me? So what about, let me use my lucky draw.
Wait.
Class number 13. Class number 13.
Wait.
So any idea if I just ask you what is the relief of Hong Kong? So what adjective you're going to tell me?
They're hilly, like there's a lot of hills.
Okay, hilly. So any more? What about class? Okay, thanks a lot. What about class number 15? 15.
Yes.
So apart from hilly, what adjective you are going to tell me relate to the relief of Hong Kong?
Is your computer so slow?
Just based on your common sense.
I can't think of any adjective. Or same, like I think of hilly too.
Okay, so apart from, what about, do you know what is the meaning of relief?
Before. Dang, bro.
Do you know the meaning of relief?
Rich boy.
Like, is it like they say or something?
Correct. So you will find that the term relief, in fact, we are talking about the height as well as the shape of a place. So just now, two students tried to use hilly to describe that would be the relate to the height. At the same time, you'll find somehow in some of the places we did have some special relief. So this will be we call the relief of Hong Kong. So I guess in your primary, you did learn the term hilly, or maybe you did heard. I don't know whether you heard 山多平地少. Have you ever heard this few words in your primary? So if I want you to describe the relief of Hong Kong, I guess somehow you just simply tell me there will be hilly, that will be correct one. So in fact, in Hong Kong, around 2/3 of the land that will be we call the hilly relief, and comparatively speaking, that means the rest, the 1/3 of the land, is just the we call the lowland. Comparatively speaking, there will be fewer. And where you can find the hilly relief, so the major part you will find that there will be the central or eastern part of the New Territories or the central part of Lantau Island. So basically, you can see this will be central and eastern part of New Territories as well as the central part of Lantau Island. So this will be the highland. What about lowland, where you can find them? basically that will be on both sides of Victoria Harbour. We call this one is the natural lowland. But at the same time, you'll find that some places, in fact, are not natural ones. So here, these two basically are somehow the natural one. Then apart from the both sides of Victoria Harbour, we have the northwestern or northern part of the New Territories are the we call the lowland. But we did have some of them. In fact, the man-made one. You can see we have the reclaimed land by reclamation. So how can if I just give you this photo, how can I know that somehow they are the man-made one? So could you just describe? What about near the sea? So apart from near the sea, any more?
It's regular shape.
Yeah.
It's like in Shatin, the river.
Yes. So you can see Shamoon River, that will be one of the man-made river here. And then you can see the coastline that will be with regular shape. So maybe if based on the MTL station, so Namcheon and then Olympic Station. So you'll find quite a number of places. In fact, it's Tai Kok Choi. So that will be the reclaimed land. Also, I don't know whether any students live in Cheung Kwan O, then Cheung Kwan O, that will somehow quite a number of places are the reclaimed lands together with the northern part of the Hong Kong Island. So somehow near Wan Chai, Causeway Bay, originally the coastline that will be with a wider one between Kowloon and the Hong Kong Island, but you can see there will be narrowed down due to the reclamation. So this will be some of the concepts I would like to discuss. So basically, in these sessions, I just want you to have some general idea related to the relief in Hong Kong. So I guess any idea which two hills in Hong Kong that will be the highest one? So just based on this map. So what about class number 33?
Tai Mo Shan.
Yes, Tai Mo Shan. Any more?
Ma On Shan.
Ma On Shan, really? So if you look at somehow here, Lantau Peak, that will be the second one among the hills in Hong Kong, and Sunset Peak, that will be the third one. So there will be just some general idea. So basically, these 2 pages, I just want you to know the general idea that will be the relief in Hong Kong. There will hilly, and you will find lowland or the flatland are quite limited. And where is the highest peak or the highest hill in Hong Kong, that will be Tai Mo Shan, and you can see the natural lowland that will be mainly found in the northwestern or northern New Territories or on the both sides of Victoria Harbour. So basically, these 2 pages information, I guess if I really want to ask you during the test exam, just MC or maybe fill in the blanks. So I guess I won't ask you some sort of questions or database questions. So just give you the general idea. Okay, the more important for today's lesson, that will be related to some map reading skills concept. So could you please look at your supplementary notes? So here I try to, if you look at this map, just like a textbook one. So it's trying to use different color to represent the relief. So the brown color is going to show you where is the highland, and the green color that will show you the lowland. So basically, we call this method coloring. Use different color to present the height as well as the relief. So could you please write this down onto your supplementary notes, page 11. Okay, 1A, write down coloring.
Your class is boring, bro.
So I guess this one is quite easy. Somehow, maybe in your textbook, there will be quite similar to orange color. So you know that when we print some item, we did have some discrepancy. So just remember brown or orange color usually refer to the place with a higher relief. So this is the first concept. The second concept that will be the second method in order to present the relief that will be we use contour lines. We call this method contouring. And I guess in grade 7 you did learn the line here we call the contour lines, and it's trying to join the same heights together to form the lines. Another concept I want you to know here that will be related to the number. So I guess you can see here we did have the number in between the contour lines here. So this shows you the height of the particular area. So if I were the one locate here, then that will be at the height 60 meter. But I would like to ask, if I locate in the center part between 60 and 80, that means what is the height I'm located right now? Do I locate right now? What height? So right now I'm located somewhere here that will be in the center of between 60 and 80. So do you know what is the height right now? So what about class number 1?
Yes.
So if right now I'm located at the midpoint between 60 and 80 meter, so what should be the height here?
Should it be 70 or 60 to 80?
Yeah, so I just want to remind you for contour line, so if it is at the midpoint between 60 and 80, you should take 70. Okay, and then if it is closer to the line 80, then it is roughly 70, any value between, I guess, 75 to 80 like this. So this will be difference from isobar. Isobar, that will be you try to give me a range, but if it is if they are the contour lines, then you have to estimate. Okay, if closer to the next contour line, then you should take a closer value to the next contour line. Okay, so but of course, if I really ask you to do some calculation, then I expect you to have I will give you the exact figure, or maybe I will choose the point that will be exactly on the line if I ask you to do calculation. But sometimes maybe I ask you to draw the cross sections, then you should have some general idea. For example, if I ask you to draw the cross section between the point here up to somewhere here, okay, then you should know that the starting point here it should be roughly near 70. So maybe later on I will give you more details related to cross section. The next concept I would like you to know that will be related to the term vertical interval. So the meaning of vertical interval that will be related to the height difference between two contour lines. So here you can see, I just randomly choose two contour lines here. So you can see the height difference between here, that will be 15 meter. The same case, if I just choose another two, so you can see the height difference here, that will be 50 as well. So you can see between the two contour lines, they are with the same height in between. So we call this one the vertical interval. And quite obvious, this map, that will be 15 meter for vertical interval. Okay, for example, right now I just randomly draw some. Sometimes I will give you the contour line, but I'm not intend to give you every data. So I just give you here is 0, and this one is 100. So can you guess what should be the next value for the second control line here? So what about class number 29?
50.
Yes. So you have to do some calculation because you can see there are before we reach 100, there are two control lines. So you just simply 100 divided by 2. So you know that here that will be 50. So what about if I give you clear first? So if I just give you the one like this, here is 100, and this one is 0. So what is the vertical interval then? What about class number 32? Thanks a lot.
20.
Yes, 20. So just here we got 1, 2, 3, 4.
25.
Yes, 25. So you can see if you look at the data here, this is 25, this is 50, and there's 75. And that's why the vertical interval, I make it short, that will be VI, that will be 25 meter. Okay, so here I just want you to remember the term vertical interval and how to read I may ask you this question, okay, what is the vertical interval of the map? Then you have to find out the height difference between two control lines. Even though somehow, sometimes I just give you two figures. Okay, maybe I just give you, okay, like I just give you here is 100 and here is 0. So the vertical interval for this one, that will be 50 meter. So be careful, even though here we don't provide a value, but you can trace it out. And that's why for this case, that will be the vertical interval is 50. Another concept I want to mention here that will be related to the distance between the control line. So you can see if the control line closer to each other, then we call this one a steeper one. If they are farther apart, that will be gentler. So this will be somehow the relative concept. So hopefully you know, I guess you learned some concept in grade 7, right? Sometimes I would like to tell you the exact height. Then I will use the conventional sign. And this will be the third method to present the relief. We did have two conventional signs to represent the exact height. One we call the trigonometric station. It's a triangular shape with a dot inside and together with a number on top. Another one we call spot height, and we just simply use a black dot with the number. So what the difference between these two signs? With the number, you know the exact height, just like this one is 115. And that's why the exact height of this place, that will be 150 meter. So if you go hiking, I don't know whether you see this, this pole on the hilltop. So if it is a trigonometric station, you can see this stone pillar that will be located at the hilltop. Here I try to show many years ago. So I try to go at the hilltop, and this will be the trigonometric station. And for the spot height, the same case is try to tell you the exact height. That will be 94 meter, but this time without the triangular shape. So you can see just a black dot on top with the number. And why you can see trigonometric station? Because it's used for surveying, and that's why it's tried to set up the pole on top, and so that they can put some equipment to measure the surrounding height or some other related surveying. Mainly is to show.
Just like this.
You mean the the pole that will be for surveying. They try to put some equipment on top, and then they can collect the data surrounding, and then find out maybe the another hilltop nearby like this. So for spot height, so there will be maybe we did have a lot of hilltops for some of. We don't, maybe some of them, not just a single hilltop, then they try to mark down the exact height of the nearby hilltop. Then that is, we call the spot height. Okay, right now I would like you to do some matching. So here we did have some contour patterns 1 to 6, and we have the A to F relief features. So could you show your answer in the polling? And then tell me your answer. Okay, so question 1 to 6. So I just give you around 1.5 minutes. Hopefully it's enough for every one of you to answer the questions. So could you show your answers? Question 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 6 and 7. So which one match with another one? Can you see my polling? So after you finish page 31, then you show your answers in the polling. So altogether, there are 6 questions.
Oh, you're learning relief.
So okay, 10 more students. So you have around 30 seconds. Six more students. 5 more students. Okay, roughly you have 15 seconds. 4 more students. You have 10 more seconds. Okay. We still have to wait for 2 more answers from 2 students. Okay, the last 10 seconds. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, someone is missing. Okay, so let's just have a look. So most of you choose for question 1, that will be relief feature B, correct? And then question 2 is E. Most of you choose E, correct? And then 3 is D, correct? 4 is C. 5 is F. And 6 is A, all correct. So basically, most of you know all the answers. So I guess for question 1, you can see here the contour line shows we did have 2 hilltops here, but you can see one should be higher than another one. And that's why it's quite obvious it's B. And 3 and 6 both with 2 hilltops, but you can see here for number 3, there will be flatter, and that's why it will be more likely to be D. So good.
Yeah.
Good job. So the next part that will be more important. So the previous page, I guess you just simply know how to do the matching, most likely only for MC. But for the next part here, that will be related to the relief features. That will be the important part, and you have to remember the names of some common one. So here you can see the first two, gentle and steep slope, they are the relative concept only. So you can see if over the slope here, that will be wider apart from each other, then this one we call the gentle slope. So this is a relative concept. So at least you should know how to distinguish the gentle and steep slope. So if they are closer to each other, that will be the steep slope. So I guess this one is not difficult to identify these two.
Chris, if it's a
But
steep
for
slope,
some of them, in fact, you can see we did have some special pattern. Just like this one, you can see we have a steep slope on top, but a gentle slope that will be at the bottom part. We said that this kind of relief features we call concave slope. Closely spaced at the top and widely spaced at the bottom, we call concave. So you know that we have the term concave. That means in the opposite, we did have the term convex. Then everything just in the opposite. So you can see just now at the top that was steep. Right now is a gentle one. Here is the gentle one, and the bottom part there will be steep. And this one we call the convex.
Convex and concave.
Okay. So the next one, this one is a hill. Okay, if I just cut this one into half, so you can see here on your right hand side, this one is still the gentle slope.
Sorry, my roommate is snoring.
And your left hand side here is still a steep slope. If we just look at side by side, but if we talking about as a whole, then this one we have a special term called escarpment. So that means as long as one side is a gentle slope, another side there will be a steep slope. We call this one escarpment. Somehow here is trying to the right hand side that will be gentle, the left hand side is steep. If indeed just vice versa, if the left hand side is a gentle one, and the left hand side is gentle and the right hand side is steep, is still an escarpment. So it is not always the same pattern like the example. It can be vice versa one. But as long as on a hill, one side is steep, another side is gentle, then this will be an escarpment.
Seriously.
So the more important that will be, Emily, any question?
Teacher Anna.
Yes.
I want to know that what is the difference between steep slope and concave slope?
For concave, I don't know whether you noticed that if we just cut the slope into two parts, here is steep slope, here is gentle slope. So if I just talking about a shorter distance, then it can be at the top is a steep slope and the bottom part is gentle slope. But if we look at a larger area, then you can see at top there will be somehow the steep one, and the bottom part there will be gentle one. If we're talking about a larger area, then this one is a concave slope.
But they look.
You can look at this cross section. Maybe it's easier for you to understand. So you can see the upper part here is a steep one, and the lower part here is a gentle one. And that's why you can see we did have a special pattern like this, and that's why this one we call a concave.
Like having
Thank you, teacher Anna.
good classes, like it feels like it's making my brain.
Some gentle slope is concave.
The past 2 months, my brain has been moving.
That depends on how long or the distance I pointed out on the map. If I just ask you to identify,
even though there's no sound,
starting from here, just identify this is called A, then this one is a steep slope. But if I ask you to identify
it makes me
the
feel
whole
like
section, starting from
my brain is actually
maybe
moving,
from
not that
point A
my
to
brain is
this 2 point, then you will find we did have the changes at the very beginning. At the top, there will be steep. At the bottom, there will be gentle. And this one, there will be a concave. So you will find, even though at the same paper, same map, if I point into different, maybe I highlight different area and ask you identify the relief features, then you may give me a totally different answer. So that's why when you answer the question related to identify the relief features, then you have to be careful which part I am asking, which section I'm highlighting. So any questions so far? Any more questions?
This teacher is even worse than teacher Sherman.
So if you don't have questions, then I go to the most difficult one. That will be referred to spur and valley. So could you put a backstar on number 6? So you will find that this one, in fact, if they are shown in the contour map, they are shown in V shape. So here you can see we said that if the V shape, the tip of the V shape, that will be point towards highland, then we call this one a valley. If they are pointing to lowland, we call this one is a spur. So how can I know that is, what does this mean? So I try to use different color to show you. So here I try to highlight. Can you see the contour line here is like a letter V. And you can see the number here, 50, 100, 150. And then the next part here is 200. And you can see the number that will be getting higher and higher. That means this V shape that is point towards the highland. Then this one we call a valley. But on another side, you can see, let me change another color, that will red color. Here, we still have the V shape, but this time the number is 300, and then 320, and 200. So you can see the number right now that will be getting lower and lower. That means we call the V shape here that will be point to lowland. And that's why this one we call a spur if the V shape is point to lowland. So maybe I try to create a new slide. Wait for a while. Let me create a new slide here. Okay, so if right now I would like to ask you, it's quite difficult for me to teach map reading. Okay, so here we still have the V shape, and I try to name this one is. Okay, so this will be 3 contour lines and shows you 0, 100, and 200. So this one, I say this is relief A, relief feature A, and this is relief feature B. So can you tell me okay, can you tell me which one is
Teacher Anna.
Yeah, wait for a while. Okay, so
thank you.
Here we have 3 contour lines, 0, 100, and 200. So first of all, I would like to ask one question first. What is the vertical interval first? What is the vertical interval for this map? Class number 24. Yes, thanks a lot. I see one of the answers. 24, please. Class number 24. Where are you? You are not here?
I'm here.
Yeah, can you tell me what is the vertical interval?
Vertical interval.
So that will be related to the height difference between two control lines.
100.
100 meter, thanks. Okay, so right now, I would like to ask, A is valley or spur, and the same case, B is valley or spur. So could you show your answer in the polling again? So, so you will find no matter spur and valley, the control line that will be shaped as a V, like a letter V. So, but how can I find them out? Which one is spur, which one is valley? Then you have to look at the value of the control lines.
Spur. A is spur. Second, the next one is
27
valley.
students answered the question. So,
Wait, no,
7 more students.
I'm not sure about that. Wait, no, hold up.
4 more students.
I'm not sure about that.
1 more student.
I kind of understand.
Thanks a lot.
Spur is on top.
Interesting.
And the valley is in the middle. Like in the middle of the gaps.
So, I guess half of you, half.
The class.
Okay, so let's just have a look. So how can I distinguish whether it's spur or valley? As I mentioned before, you have to look at that will be related to the V shape. So here, you can see 200, 100, and then 0. So you can see the number is getting lower and lower. That means it's point to lowland. And that's why, in fact, A, it should be a
I just joined the class. Have no idea
spur.
what the teacher
And then
is talking
right
about.
now, you look at, maybe I use
What's a
another
spur?
color. That will
A spur is like on
do one.
top of a valley.
So you can see the V shape here this
Okay.
time. So you can see the number
Yeah,
starts
that was correct.
from 0 and then 100
All the
and then
way.
200. You can see the value is getting higher and higher. That means it's point to highland, and that's why B it should be that.
Benedict is
valley.
officially smarter
So this
than
two,
Chris.
hopefully
Yes,
you
yes.
know how to distinguish. You must have the question asking related to spur and
No,
valley.
it's
So
not. It's not.
make sure that you know how to identify them. So maybe it's, in fact, it's quite difficult for me to demonstrate here. Maybe I will give you more example when we have the face-to-face
You
lesson.
play
That's me.
Minecraft?
Yeah,
Because on Thursday we don't have
It's
the
not
lesson.
even your
So
class.
I see you again. That will be next Monday. And that means, I guess I will try to.
You hear the teacher speaking.
Please remind me next
How?
Thursday to tell you more. Ring tomorrow maybe. Okay. I don't know, but at least this one is quite very, very important. So put a big star. So I will
You just have to
introduce again when we have face-to-face lesson, because this one is very, very
I want to
important.
hear what the teacher is speaking.
What if I flip the map 100 degrees?
I can hear.
It doesn't matter if you flip it, no matter on which side,
What
because
if I
what we
flip
are talking about is the
180 degrees?
the valley.
The center of the mountain, Chris.
So even though
I
I
have no
put
idea
like
what-
this,
I have no idea what's this.
or maybe
So talking about
like
contour
this.
lines, about valley and spurs.
what you are
Contour lines,
looking at is the
convex
number.
and stuff. If you turn the map 180,
So just like this one, I just randomly write some number here. So you can see the V shape, V shape, V shape, V shape. And the number
I
is
don't
getting
understand. You're talking like
higher
rocket science
and
to me.
higher. And that's why
aren't you
What about this
you
one?
really good in rocket science?
if this one is A,
No.
What about?
It's like
Okay,
it's
do
like
one
saying
more
how
question
does
before you leave.
It's like saying how does Minecraft work to a boomer?
True.
Okay, I just randomly draw two. Okay,
Let's just say
So,
the perspective.
what about
it never changes.
What do you mean?
Let me launch.
Can
another
Chris hear
one.
us?
Bro, yes, of course you can. You forgot about the numbers.
Wait,
How can you
why?
focus?
So what about just randomly
focusing.
ask
It's
to
3 a.m. in the
do? So
morning. and
what about right now? 8
I mean, Chris
square or value?
can't hear us
17
and the teacher at the same time.
I know. I'm explaining, or maybe
class
he's
number
not listening.
17
No, the Chinese
Hey.
class tomorrow.
value.
I'll join.
Okay, so let's just have a
Becomes-
look.
The teacher.
So right now, again, you look at the V shape.
My roommate's sleeping. He's like right next to me.
So here you
He's
can
on
see the
bunk
number
bed, and my
that will be
table is right next
getting
to the bunk bed.
higher and higher.
And your
The tip
what?
of V shape is getting higher and
My
higher.
table's
And
right
that's
next
why
to the bunk
here
bed.
there will be
It's
a
like
valley.
shitty design.
What about this
What
one?
table?
Again,
table.
you can see
Oh, table.
the number
My
that will
table
be
in my
getting
room.
higher and higher. And that's why
Okay.
E is also a valley.
And
So
you know, like,
always
in
you
real
have to look
expression,
at
right?
that
And
will
then
be
it'd be-
the number.
today they
The
told me to
V
play
shape is
Roblox hide
getting
and seek at
higher
6
and higher,
p.m.
or like this one
You
is
know,
get the yellow one
then-
here
and
that
then
will
I
be
used-
getting
I
lower
used,
and
like,
lower. That will be
second
square.
account so I can suicide the second
So,
account so I can have
I get
an extra
hopefully
account.
these few
And then
examples.
I just hear them,
Don't try to tell me it's bend to the top or to the bottom, because you will find that if just like you flip the question paper, the top and the bottom will
Russians
be
be like, let's
flip
play hide and
as well.
seek in real
And that's why
life.
always you look at is the
Don't drink. Hold my vodka.
value here,
Starts love
the
is
number of the contour lines, instead of tell me is a higher top or bottom like this. Okay, so if you don't have any questions, so so Emily,
I kind of understand like what
Teacher Anna.
yes, for our
I'm just-
student, if you don't have
Trying
questions,
to
you
copy
may
back the
leave.
notes.
Okay, Emily, yeah.
I
Oh yeah,
screenshot it
I feel a bit
because I didn't copy it
confused.
during the lesson.
Oh, you can unmute now, Chris.
Oh, his class ended?
Hi. I'm smarter than you now.
Hello, Christ.